Evidence exists to illustrate the first people were in Oklahoma approximately 11,000 years ago. More than 10,000 prehistoric sites are recorded in the state. Some of these sites pertain to the lives of Oklahoma's original settlers, the Wichita and Caddo, the Kiowa, Apache, Osage, and Comanche. Whites first came to Oklahoma as explorers. Europeans discovered Oklahoma and its people in 1541 when Francisco Coronado led an expedition through western Oklahoma in search of the lost city of gold. Members of the expedition hunted buffalo and visited the camps of the Plains Apaches, the first Indian tribe the Spaniards met in Oklahoma. The land that would eventually be known as Oklahoma was part of the 1803 Louisiana Purchase. Beginning in the 1830s, the 5 civilized tribes from the southeastern United States were relocated to Indian Territory over numerous routes. Their survivors eventually recovered from the dislocation through hard work and communal support. New institutions and cultural adaptations emerged and began a period of rapid developments, often called the Golden Age of Indian Territory. Following the destruction of the Civil War, Oklahoma became part of the booming cattle industry, ushering in an era of the cowboy. Western expansion reached the territory in the late 1800s, sparking a controversy over the fate of the land. Treaties enacted after the Civil War by the U.S. government forced the tribes to give up their communal lands and accept individual property allotments to make way for expansion. The government relented to pressure, much of it coming from groups known as boomers, who wanted the rich lands open to non-Indian settlement. The government decided to open the western parts of the territory to settlers by holding a total of 5 land runs between 1889 and 1895 and 2 lotteries in 1901. Settlers came from across the nation and even other countries from around the world to stake their claims. In the waning hours of March 3, 1889, a rider was inserted into the Indian Appropriations Bill opening the unassigned lands of then Central Indian Territory for settlement. The date was originally set for April 21st, but that being a Sunday, then President Benjamin Harrison, being a deeply religious man, changed the date to Monday, April 22nd. The bill was signed into law by former President Grover Cleveland, who was scheduled to leave office on March 4, 1889. Albeit he signed the bill, he included no plan on how to achieve this newly crafted law. It was left to Harrison to devise a way to open these lands within the prescribed time frame. Oklahoma to this day remains the only state in the Union to have been opened for settlement by a horse race. On November 16, 1907, Oklahoma became the 46th state. Statehood had become a sure thing, in part due to the discovery of oil, which made Oklahoma the place to go to strike it rich. Oklahoman Cyrus Stevens Avery, born in 1871 and dying in 1963, was known as the father of Route 66. He created the route while a member of the federal board appointed to create the federal highway system. In 1927, Avery pushed for the creation of the U.S. Highway Association to promote paving US 66 and promote travel on the highway. At the creation of Route 66 in 1926, Oklahoma was not yet 20 years into statehood and was still developing a modern infrastructure. On the eve of the Mother Road, less than 12% of the state's roads had hard paved surfaces. As a result, the first generation of Route 66 roadbed in Oklahoma was a patchwork of loose net and often primitive roads. Straightening and realigning of the route shortened it by 47 miles between 1926 and 1951. Several state-of-the-art museums paid tribute to America's Main Street, including Oklahoma Route 66 Museum in Clinton, the National Transportation and Route 66 Museum in Elk City, and the Route 66 Interpretive Center in Chandler. Take a nostalgic ride on Route 66 and let the golden age of the road whisper to you through brightly colored neon signs, quaint motels, drive-in movie theaters, and friendly small towns in Oklahoma.